There comes a time in every CEO's career that it's time to leave the company. This is even true when you're a founder, so this is really for everybody. When you're the CEO, you think, well, maybe I'm going to run this company forever. I'll retire in this job, but that's probably not the right answer. So the question is, what are the markers that tell you, whether you're a hired gun or you're an executive or you've founded the company, that it's time for you to leave as the CEO? Well, the first thing that you need to think about is, have I run out of ideas? Sometimes you show up at a company, you've got lots of ideas, you start making changes like crazy, those ideas get implemented, you get the benefit from them, but the ideas come slower and slower and slower over time. The normal cycle for a CEO to run this full gamut of their first set of ideas is about 4 to 5 years. So either you have to completely recreate yourself in the company after about 5 years, or it's time to hand the reins to somebody else and let them do their job. Some people have immense creativity and they don't run into this gap, but that's okay. The second is energy. Now, energy is the most important element that an entrepreneur has to protect. If you don't have energy to engage in the business, you're done. And so we've talked to CEOs that they wake up in the morning and frankly, they don't want to go into their own darn business. And people can't believe this. Say, look, you're paid all this money, you're the boss of everything. How can you not be excited about coming into the business? But look, CEOs are human. Sometimes work stinks. We're out of ideas. We don't really want to do this anymore. We don't have the energy for it. Now, look, we can push through. Everybody can do that, but that's not healthy. It's not healthy psychologically, it's not healthy physically, and it is not what the business deserves for you to be mailing it in versus somebody who would be fully engaged. So that's a second sign it might be time for you to leave. And the third, and this is more for the hired gun as opposed to the entrepreneurs, is that you're not being paid enough for your work. We've seen this happen particularly when you've got financial ownership come into the company and they're trying to manage the CEO's pay and not letting them go to full market compensation. Well, look, if you're busting your hump and you're working 80 hours a week and thinking about it every hour you're awake and you're not paid what you're supposed to, there's a concept called felt fair compensation, which means I feel like I'm fairly compensated and I'm ready to get to work. But if you don't feel like you're fairly compensated, it creates stress every day of the week. Now, I've been there, and the only answer is either to get the compensation fixed or to go to your next job. So if any of those three things are happening to you, you're losing energy, you're out of ideas, or you're not fairly compensated, it may be time for you to find another job even though you're the CEO.